He's telling a story, but he's presenting it as if it's in this world.
And I was like, well, you know what, if people think it's fake, maybe I'll just come out and say it's fake and fuck everyone.
So our prediction is he killed his family because they were the ones who made him go to uni and waste his life away.
Fucking sick, why would you bring money up? You didn't even fucking know it.
Obviously better drop for GCSE drop.
In a place in this world, tells a similar story in a different way. They're telling a story. Seventybroad, a web series that's kept people second guessing since the dawn of its creation. For those wondering what the hell I'm talking about, Seventybroad is a YouTube channel run by a man known as George. It was created in 2007, but all uploads between then and 2016 appear to have been removed, except for one video that was uploaded back in September 2007 titled Crazy Ollie, which features a young kid looking at the camera and screaming. No more uploads can be found until 2016 when the series of Seventybroad begins. It starts out with a man named George confessing to a murder.
Done so much fucking shit, man. Fuck's sake, I didn't even want to fucking be like this. I fucking murdered them.
The whole series revolved around George on the run from the police while uploading past videos that supposedly took place during 2014, to show us what happened to George and why he became like this. This caused a debate over the mainstream media questioning its authenticity. Many people were puzzled, wondering what exactly was going on with the channel, but after a month or so of many questions surrounding it, people came to the conclusion that it was an ARG, an alternate reality game. Even I made a video on it back in October explaining that I didn't think it deserved the hate it was getting because it was quite clearly a web series. For months people followed it and made their own theories on where they thought the series was going and what the twist could potentially be that was hinted throughout the Twitter page. Until February 4th, 2017, this happened. Postponing uploads due to police involvement.
Yep, I started Seventybroad about 3 or 4 months ago. And when it first came out, my confession, I'm so sorry, gun in it. There was a gun in it, and I know this has brought up a lot of speculation, you know, oh, this must be fake, because, you know, how can somebody in Britain get a gun? Here's the thing about that weapon, which I didn't know. That gun is a starting pistol. Apparently, about 5 or 6 years ago, there was a law passed, and that law stated that this particular weapon was illegal.
George has now had to postpone the story he created and come clean to the public that the story was in fact fake. He says the police are now investigating him about the gun that appeared in an earlier video that is no longer legal in this country, and it will take up to a month before the police come to a conclusion on this investigation. He tells his followers that he'll make a few videos including updates to pass the time while he tries to get this situation sorted out, which is understandable. Everyone was very sympathetic at the time, including myself, and wanted to show support towards George throughout this tough time. But then, as it went on, it started to become questionable. Every update he made was about some new problem that occurred in his life because of this web series. And no matter how bad the update was, he would still make a video on it and end it by asking us to like and subscribe. Months went by and the investigation with him and the police kept getting pushed back. It only seemed to get worse. One update came out saying that he was getting blackmailed by someone. His university then got involved and suspended him for a month because of this web series. He also decided not to tell his parents this, so that kind of, you know, starts getting weird. And just when you think it couldn't get any worse, he then comes out with a video explaining that he's been permanently expelled from uni and now is being evicted from his house because he no longer goes to uni. Then his stepdad finds out he's actually been expelled and starts sending him threats over the phone because he hasn't told his mother yet. Then another update comes out telling he's been forcefully removed from his student house and is now living in his car because he doesn't want to go home and tell his mother. Jesus. Oh, and it got mugged on a live stream and Keemstar covered it.
News. A small streamer known as Seventybroad got mugged during his live stream. Now, I'm sorry, but that shit seems fake to me. That seems like a publicity stunt.
It's an ARG, not a publicity stunt. Again, people think it's fake for the wrong reasons.
If there's one thing George is good at, it's keeping the audience second guessing. For the past 3 months, people have been going back and forth on whether or not it's real or just another layer in the story. With all this happening while watching these events unfold, it's hard to deny the similarities between George in the real world and his character in his Seventybroad series. In the series, he appeared to be losing everything and was driven to killing his family and running away. It's hard to deny a similar pattern occurring here. So let me just come out and say, yes, it's fake. Here's some evidence as to why. On the Seventybroad Twitter page, he tweeted out 62 originally, 54 days now, ahead of schedule. This was actually one of our first big hints that the series was still going on, and all events were just another layer in the story. On the very first day the Seventybroad series began, which was the 27th of September 2016, if we count 62 days from there, we land on the 28th of November 2016, which coincidentally has a video called Expelled from University uploaded to the Seventybroad YouTube channel. This video was uploaded before George came out and said the series was fake. When he made the video about the police investigation, that was on February 4th. So this video actually took place during the original web series. But it gets even stranger. If we count 62 days from when the web series supposedly was put on hold, we land on the 7th of April. And not surprisingly, we can find a video on the Seventybroad channel uploaded on that date titled Expelled from University because of YouTube. So in the original web series, it took 62 days before George released a video titled Expelled from University, and then in this supposed real world, it took 62 days as well to upload a video titled Expelled from University. This evidence was actually found by the people in the Discord, just wanted to point that out. But that's not all. Even in the video before he broke character, he was pretty much giving nothing but hints at what the next video was going to be.
I was just fucking with you. Nerdy Birdie asks, what even gave you this ARG idea? Hashtag 70Broad. You know, I've had people saying it to me since the beginning. I've had people telling me that, you know, oh, this is so fake, oh, what's going on? And I was like, well, you know what, if people think it's fake, maybe I'll just come out and say it's fake and fuck with everyone.
And to top it all off, George was hinting throughout the web series on his Twitter that a twist in the story was coming. And if you're wanting more proof that this is still part of the story, you only need to take a look at the playlists. You'll notice they're worded rather peculiar. With the police arresting and trying to charge him, his university threatening to expel him, and having to postpone Seventybroad, George's life implodes. George returns home to find all his stuff gone, and his stepdad isn't too happy he came back. Notice how they're all written in the third person, as if it's not actually George that's writing it. It's because it isn't. There's someone else working on this channel. Well, kind of. We only need to look at the profile picture to see that. A picture of his face with a split down the middle, hinting as if there are two people inside one body. In my older video on Seventybroad, I did mention that George pointed towards his head saying there are more voices inside telling him what to do. This clip happened during the original web series, before the police investigation happened. And take note how he mentions in his video and on Twitter there is more than one voice in his head. I think overall there were 3 characters being played all in this one person during the original web series. There was Crazy George, Real Life George, the one that we're seeing now, and a third one that we haven't seen on camera. Let me explain. Throughout his Twitter, Seventybroad was having countless conversations between himself, hinting that there was more than one person in control, and mentioning some kind of twist and how they shouldn't spoil the ending. But noticed in some of his tweets he mentions they, implying that there is more than one that he's talking to. and I believe the channel banner gives me the idea of who these people are. The first character is from the original Seventybroad web series. This guy killed his family and went into hiding and decided to show us how he became this person. However, this character disappeared once his story was complete, which was when this video was uploaded. It was hinted throughout his Twitter page that he needs to finish his story before the true Seventybroad is revealed. If you have the need to accept what you have done, then do it when you have finished your story, then reveal the true Seventybroad. In this tweet, I believe they were talking about this video, the reveal, where the second George reveals it was all just a fake web series, ending one story and beginning another. Notice how the other two are in physical forms on the banner, but the third one is a spirit. This is the one we haven't seen yet. I believe this is supposed to be the original creator of the story, hiding in the background, changing things around to help move the story on. This creator in particular is clearly obsessed with the show Breaking Bad. With all the posters we see and the tweets about it, he was obsessed with the show, and this creator wanted to make his own series where he could recreate what Breaking Bad did so perfectly, a character transformation. The whole reason Breaking Bad exists was because the creator Vince Gilligan wanted to create the ultimate transformation of a character.
But Breaking Bad has been pretty consistent that the idea of the show is that we're going to take the good guy and turn him into the bad guy. A sort of glib one-sentence pitch was, we're going to take Mr. Chips and we're going to turn him into Scarface.
And that is exactly what the main goal of Seventybroad is, seeing the transformation of the innocent character like George fall and become a completely different person. It's everywhere you look. The original web series had George already insane, but still showed past videos when he was completely different, and we gradually saw the change in George. And now in the real world, after the twist is revealed, we're seeing the exact same thing happen again, but this time in the right order. Full circle, Felina.
As Walt drives back to New Mexico in the final episode, he listens to a song called El Paso by Marty Robbins. It tells of a guy who returns to the town where he is a wanted man to find the woman he loves, Felina, which is where the episode gets its name.
And that's where I believe the story of George is going. With all his life falling apart, I believe George will fully lose his sanity, just like his character in Seventybroad. The creator becomes the creation. I believe he'll become so mad and delusional, he'll purposely start to reenact the Seventybroad web series in the quote-unquote real world, just so he can give us the ending he claims is the perfect ending. There have been many occasions where people have spoken to George about the Seventybroad web series, and many times he's brought up in those conversations how perfect the ending of the show is, and he hopes one day we'll get to see it.
I have the ending to it is really incredible. The ending is really incredible. I do hope I can do that one day.
The ending is the best fucking thing ever. Everything will make sense. Shh, you're spoiling the ending. If there's one thing I've learned from Seventybroad, it's that he loves to foreshadow future events right under your nose.
If people think it's fake, maybe I'll just come out and say it's fake and fuck with everyone. I started Seventybroad about 3 or 4 months ago. Who knows what will happen? Maybe this will send me crazy and I'll just go off the rails. I haven't done anything!
Okay, will you please?
Holy shit! This is the same bag I used in the series when I ran away to Seventybroad.
George has grown a huge bond with his audience on this channel, and since everyone else in his life is resenting him, he'll feel the viewers on his channel are his only true friends. So once he's completely lost everything and the character transition is complete, he will start reenacting the Seventybroad story in the real world, just to show us the perfect ending he had planned all along. Maybe he'll finish it with someone else by his side. We still don't know who Crazy Ollie is yet, although the most likely outcome is the character behind the Fuck Seventybroad YouTube channel. This channel appeared not too long ago and has been watching George and threatening to reveal his location ever since the original web series was put on hold. Not only that, George believes this is the same person who told the police about his web series, so whoever is behind this clearly is having a big role to play in his story. And George hasn't name-dropped him yet, so it's most likely going to be a big reveal. Well, there is only one character in this series that has the same amount of mystery behind him. Crazy Ollie. The very first video titled Crazy Ollie released a whole 9 years before any of this ever started, and has only been mentioned every so often, along with the fact that George has called himself Crazy George a couple of times, meaning it's most likely a close connection between these two characters. So Crazy Ollie clearly has some significance to this whole thing, just like this person who created Seventybroad. But even then, we don't necessarily know who Crazy Ollie is, other than seeing one video of him from 9 years ago. Well, I believe it's George's third personality, the one we haven't seen yet, the creator. Notice how Crazy Ollie, if he is the Seventybroad YouTube channel, all of this stuff is happening to George because of this one character talking to the police. And since there is only one other character with a name we haven't met yet, the connections are too big to ignore. Okay, so that is a little confusing, so let me just summarize what I just said. The Seventybroad YouTube channel was created by Crazy Ollie. Crazy Ollie is George's third personality, which is also the creator of the entire series, the one that we see in the background, changing playlists, writing tweets, and then getting them deleted. This is the one that is in control of the entire story, and sending it down a certain direction. This means everything that we've seen in Seventybroad has been caused by George himself. And I believe the final episode will involve George becoming Crazy Ollie, maybe to act out the Seventybroad ending he had planned, but who knows. Seventybroad is an incredible series and I highly recommend you check it out if you haven't already. Just recently, George decided to go back home to live with his parents after spending some time in his car. Anyone new can join in from there. If you have any theories on what's going to happen, feel free to leave in the comments section below and I'll give them a read. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.